My name's Dorine Mwesigwa. I am so attached to Uganda being my country of descent. Uganda is home for me. And I feel that everyone in Uganda is either a brother or a sister, a son or a daughter. I'm so passionate. I'm particularly passionate about opening a WCN center in Uganda because having been born and bred there and living my early years in the country, I can relate with the struggles the people in a third world country encounter. The honest truth, I really can't wait. I can't wait for this information to get into the hearts, the ears, the minds of these people. I really can't wait to get it there. I came in contact with this content, and I strongly believe that whoever comes in contact with this content will feel the same way that I'm feeling. It's going to do the same to those people, the people in Uganda, who I want to introduce this beautiful information to. This book, which means everything to me, because this book literally saved my life. As you can see that phrase there, the book that saves the world. It saved the world, it saved my life. You see, I'm a much better human being, living a much better quality of life than I've ever lived. In my opinion, it is astounding that a person, and not just anyone, but a scientist in particular, could dedicate 40 years, not only of his career, but of his life, to understanding and explaining the abject human condition, as Jeremy calls it. So that to me sounds like his calling. And I personally do tremendously appreciate and credit Jeremy Griffith for this huge life transformational assignment that he took on. Had it not been for this book, I can tell you something. The time when I found this book and the duration of the time when I first got in touch with this information, and now there's a massive transformation in my life. And this transformation is not a one-off, or it's not just, it has happened and that's it. No, I'm transformed every day of my life. It's an ongoing process. I evolve into a better human being because of Jeremy's work every day of my life, which is why I'm so passionate about taking this information far and wide. I'm so passionate about it because I believe that what this book has done for me is going to do for everybody else. I strongly believe that. This information has just changed the trajectory of my life. Because after having immersed myself in Jeremy's work, I can safely deduce that Jeremy's book, Freedom, is by far the only book that has been written that provides the most accurate and profound explanation of the human condition. And what stands out for me in this book is the liberating truth that this concept that suggests that we humans have savage animal instincts within us is in fact based upon false biological excuses. Now, going back to Uganda, my country of descent, many cultures in the country have this belief that we humans are like animals, they believe that way. So Jeremy's explanation of how we humans developed a fully conscious mind some 2 million years ago is very relieving for humanity because it brings to our awareness that we humans possess both instinctive and intellectual behavior patterns in our makeup. So this understanding explains why we sometimes find it difficult to make right decisions. Now, if this kind of understandings fall into the ears of a person who has been struggling all their lives, that would be so liberating for them to know. Because then they will understand that, after all, they are not the cause of all the mishaps that have gone on in their lives. This came into play just because they were trying to find knowledge in life. And by so doing, they become the heroes of their own story of life. And when I first heard that, I was thinking, after all the mess I've been through, how can I even be a hero? That sounds so beautiful, to turn it all around. that for me is just that blew me away to know that after all I was a hero here. How this ties in with my spirituality, my faith based upon the Bible and theology teaches me that Jesus came to die for man's sins because he did not put himself in this sinful position. So he mustn't be the one to pay the sacrifice. Hence, Jesus' death on the cross by crucifixion. So God pays it for man through his greatest love for humanity. So what theology refers to as sinful nature of man or the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, Jeremy scientifically explains it as a heroic state through humanity's epic search for self-knowledge to understand the human condition, hence making man the hero of the story of life. What a beautiful turnaround from messy to hero. That is so beautiful. So through Jeremy's scientific explanation of the human condition, we understand that equality and goodness in humans is a fundamental truth and that everyone is equally worthy with none inferior or superior to the other. It really affirms what the people spiritually believe. You see? That's going to be a huge impact for them because they're thinking, oh, these are scientists and they're telling us exactly what the Bible says. So for them, it's going to be a big revelation. So in my opinion, I strongly believe that everyone needs an understanding of the scientific explanation of the human condition, regardless their race, spiritual or political affiliation, their sex orientation, belief system, even their social status. This explanation and understanding cuts through all of these barriers because what we all have in common is humanity. And that's what makes Jeremy's work so powerful. Because Jeremy's work speaks to human beings in general. You see, it doesn't segregate or pick and choose. It is information that is free for everybody who is a human being. And everyone is a human being. So it's universal. And I believe that with this awareness, humankind will embark on a whole new journey of a well-deserved quality of life, especially the people in Uganda. Even those people that are suffering and have no idea why they are suffering, they're going to be liberated by this information. He says we had to be prepared to march into hell for a heavenly cause. By so saying, he enlightens us that it had to get worse before it could get better. So I use the analogy of a pregnant woman in labor because obviously I'm a mother. And I know that when you're in labor and you're expecting your child, the pain is intensive. But as soon as that baby comes, you're overjoyed. So I had to go into labor to get this beautiful baby to me. So it goes without saying that Jeremy's work is just going to save the world. All they want is the knowledge of the understandings of Jeremy's work, which is all stipulated in this book. So WTM Uganda is going to be of great help and importance to these people.